Kong astronaut has been launched into space for the first time aboard China's Shenzhou 23 spacecraft. Li Jiaying, a 43-year-old police officer and mother of three, serves as the payload scientist in the three-member crew who made their way to China's Tiangong space station on Sunday night. At least 19 people have been taken to hospital after a strong smell was reported at a shopping complex in Tokyo. According to media reports, a police spokesperson said a man had sprayed a substance at a cash machine on the ground floor of the building in the luxury Ginza 6 shopping centre on Monday.
China's President Xi Jinping has hailed Beijing's unbreakable friendship with Pakistan as he met visiting Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, seeking to deepen their all-weather partnership. Pakistan is among an exclusive group of countries China regards as an all-weather strategic partner, with ties featuring close economic, trade and security cooperation.
Kolkata, India, less than a week before Eid al-Adha, the sprawling Dulagar cattle market on the outskirts of Kolkata, the capital of India's West Bengal state, has a deserted look. Traders are huddled in groups under a tin shade, while more than 200 head of cattle readied for sale before the Muslim festival remain tied to bamboo poles in the open, braving the summer heat.
Lamine Yamal has been included in Spain's squad for the FIFA World Cup, named by coach Luis de la Fuente, who also included Arsenal midfielder Mikel Merino in the European champions roster after his recent return from injury. For the first time since 1950, Spain's World Cup squad will not include a Real Madrid player, as de la Fuente opted against naming one in his 26-man squad announced on Monday. FIFA World Cup 2026 is the most eagerly awaited sports event of the year. Fans are gearing up to see who scores the most goals, who are the biggest performers on football's grandest stage, and who wins the coveted trophy.
Xiaomi may be preparing its next smartband model for international markets. A new wearable with the model number M2561B1 has appeared in regulatory databases from Taiwan's NCC and Singapore's IMDA. The listing suggests that Xiaomi could be getting closer to launching another fitness band outside China.
As residents across the UAE prepare to celebrate Eid al-Adha, this year's festivities arrive after weeks of regional tension linked to the conflict involving Iran. Despite recent uncertainty, there is growing optimism ahead of the holiday. Reports from Reuters and AP indicate progress toward a possible agreement between the United States and Iran aimed at easing hostilities and reopening the Strait of Hormuz. US President Donald Trump said a deal had been largely negotiated, although a final agreement has yet to be confirmed. Huawei has proposed a new semiconductor design principle called the Tau scaling law. As the chip industry faces growing limits in making smaller processors, the company introduced the idea at the 2026 IEEE International Symposium on Circuits and Systems in Shanghai, where Huawei executive He Tingbo delivered a keynote on a new path for chip development.
Swiss Southern Gas Company, SSGC, has announced a temporary reduction in the duration of gas load shedding in Karachi to facilitate residents during Yom Arafah. According to the company, gas supply will not be suspended during set hours. SSGC said gas supply for consumers will be restored at 3 a.m., allowing domestic users to prepare meals without difficulty.
US President Donald Trump's new T1 smartphone is facing questions over its Made in America branding after newly shipped units appeared to closely match an existing HTC device. The phone was initially believed to be linked to another low-cost Android handset, but fresh comparisons suggest it may actually be a modified version of the HTC U24 Pro, a model released in 2024. A viral social media account focusing on the concerns of India's Gen Z has come under attack, with its founder alleging hacking and threats to his family after it won millions of followers disenchanted with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government. Satirical cockroach janta party CJP account garnered more than 22 million followers on Instagram within days, reflecting mounting unease among young users on issues it highlighted, from unemployment to the leaks of exam questions.
Actor Arslan Butt shared a copy of a legal notice purportedly sent to fellow actor Mamia Shajafar over an interview in which she described a co-star's behaviour while working on a project with her as having made her feel uncomfortable. The notice referenced Shajafar's appearance on the YouTube show Say It All with Ifat Omar and claimed that she accused Butt of having sexually harassed her on set. Shajafar has not publicly commented on the notice, and in the interview, she referred to the person solely as Arslan. She later clarified on social media that she was not talking about Arslan Khan, her College Gate co-star.
The animals arrive before the city wakes. By 3 in the morning, a few weeks before Eid al-Azha, the livestock markets on the periphery of Karachi are already dense with noise and colour. The restless lowing of cattle from Sindh's interior, the sharper bleating of goats driven down from Balochistan, the occasional camel standing in imperious silence while traders haggle beneath fluorescent lights.
Angry young men stormed a hospital treating Ebola patients at the heart of the latest outbreak of the disease in eastern Congo on Sunday evening, forcing the medical staff to scramble to evacuate the patients as gunfire rang out in the area. It was not immediately known if anyone was hurt in the attack on the Mongbolu General Hospital, but Dr. Richard Lokudu, the hospital's medical director, told the Associated Press the attackers demanded that 2 bodies of their relatives be handed over to them.
At least 3 people have been killed in Israeli air attacks on vehicles in southern Lebanon, the country's national news agency NNA reported, as the Israeli military issued new forced displacement orders for residents in the south. Israeli drone attacks targeting 3 vehicles on the Kaffa Rumman Jarmat highway and the Jarmat Kardali road in the Nabati area early on Monday killed 3 people, NNA reported.
Epic Games has announced Unreal Engine 6, the next major version of its widely used game and CGI engine, according to The Gamer and PC Gamer. The announcement was made during the Paris Major of the Rocket League Championship Series. Discussing Film shared a short clip of the reveal on X. The footage showed updated Rocket League visuals, including shinier cars, cinematic camera angles, and in-engine gameplay. The trailer described it as a new era and new engine, before showing the Unreal Engine 6 logo.
Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Elementary and Secondary Education Department has announced summer vacations for schools across the province. But students in summer zone institutions will still attend summer camps during June. According to the official schedule, primary schools in plain areas will remain closed for summer vacations from June 1 to August 31, 2026. Middle, high and higher secondary schools in the same areas will observe holidays from June 15 to August 16, 2026.
Pope Leo XIV says control of artificial intelligence must not remain in the hands of a few, while warning that technology is fueling world conflicts, setting out his proposals in the first major theological document of his pontificate. These include protecting the distinctive grandeur of humanity amid rapidly changing technology to be subject to the most rigorous ethical constraints. And for the most rigorous ethical constraints,
The first day of Hajj has begun, with more than 1.5 million Muslims from around the world making the annual pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia, a once-in-a-lifetime journey for many. As part of the 5-day rituals, pilgrims visit the Kaaba, encircling it counterclockwise several times.
Islamabad Traffic Police has intensified its crackdown against lane violations and other traffic law breaches across the federal capital. Following directives issued by Chief Traffic Officer Mohammed Safraz Verk, authorities inspected 11,507 motorcyclists during the enforcement campaign and took legal action against more than 8,000 riders for violating other traffic lane discipline and other traffic regulations.
At least 16 people were killed and 6 others injured after a passenger van crashed into a parked bus on the Swat Expressway, also known as the M16 motorway, according to the motorway police. Officials said the bus was travelling from Karachi to Poona and had been parked along the roadside when a van coming from Rawalpindi to Daya slammed into it from behind. The collision left the van badly damaged.
A rare astronomical event is expected to take place in Mecca this year, as the sun will align directly above the Kaaba on the day of Arafat. According to astronomers, the phenomenon will occur at noon on May 27, 2026, which corresponds to the 9th day of Dhul Hijjah 1447H. At the exact moment of alignment, the sun will be positioned directly above the Kaaba, causing shadows to disappear completely in Mecca.
Punjab Transport Minister Bilal Akbar Khan has said the provincial government is continuing efforts to improve public transport facilities across the province by introducing modern, safe and affordable travel services. During his visit to Attock, the minister reviewed arrangements at the general bus stand and electric vehicle stand and appreciated the performance of the Regional Transport Authority, RTA, Attock.
The Punjab government is preparing a major policy push to convert waste into energy and commercially usable products under its expanding Sutra Punjab initiative. Officials are considering incentives and land leases for private sector green investment projects across the province. Under the proposed framework, government land could be leased to private companies for waste to energy, biogas and recycling projects.
Marden, at least 16 people were killed and 7 others were injured after a SWAT-bound passenger coach collided with a bus parked by the roadside of the SWAT motorway in Koro-Kote Saidabad area on Monday, Rescue 1122 said. Rescue 1122 Public Relations Officer Syed Abbas Shah confirmed the number of casualties.
Islamabad. The Islamabad High Court, IHC, on Monday restrained the Capital Development Authority, CDA, from dispossessing the residents of 1 Constitution Avenue and issued a stay order on intra-court appeals filed against the dismissal of their writ petitions. A division bench comprising Justice Muhammad Azam Khan and Justice Raja Inam Amin Minhas heard the appeals filed by the residents of 1 Constitution Avenue. During the proceedings, the court directed the CDA not to take any coercive action against the occupants till the next hearing.
A local election in an industrial city in northern Italy is exposing differences over immigration between governing coalition parties and showing how the country's rapidly changing social fabric is shaping politics. Surrounded by factories and rice paddies, Vigevano is a city of 62,000 people, where 15% of the population is foreign, including many people from Egypt and Romania. Billionaire Elon Musk's SpaceX is preparing to list its shares on the US-based Nasdaq in what will be the most hotly anticipated initial public offering IPO in years. Here's everything you need to know about the deal.
The Murray District Administration has finalised special arrangements ahead of Eid al-Adha as authorities prepare for a heavy influx of tourists during the holiday season. Officials said Section 144 has been imposed across the hill station throughout the Eid holidays to maintain law and order, regulate traffic and prevent any untoward incidents amid the expected surge in visitors.